How y'all doing? Had someone on one of the forums ask a question about serving a string, and they were kind of scared to do it. And I wrote back, I said, well, you could practice on a dowel with a string and get the feel for it before you do it with a little jig. And I thought, well, why don't I show you guys how to do that? Because I'd never done it before either. It was just an idea. But here's the kindergarten pencil and a big rope. So here we go. I've got my upper limb to the right, my lower limb to the left. I've got the string hanging over the edge of a workbench. I pull some serving thread off of the jig, and I go from behind the string, and I come around and make an overhand knot to start with. I've got an overhand knot, just like I'm tying my shoe. Pull it tight. I pull real tight when I'm serving. And then what I'm going to do is come from under towards me and over away from me the rest of the way. Now I'm not using the jig yet. I'm just using the jig hanging on a small piece of string. And I very carefully cover over top of that tag end. I do it 10 times. You can do it what you want, but I think 10 holds it fine. I'll do it just a few here. And then once I've gotten 10 times, I pull that end out of the way and I leave it exposed now, and I start my regular serving. Once I've got established on that, I will roll the jig up and then do the faster tight serving. I serve pretty tight. Once I get down, say 8 inches, whatever you want to do, I've marked it off with tape on either end, I will then, to close this off, let's pretend like that's the whole big long string, you make a little big U with it, and you take the serving jig. You happen to have enough room here to get the serving jig through, and what you do, you continue the same direction, but you come back inside that little U, and I go 10 times there because I think 10 is sufficient for my purposes. They call back serving. You're just coming back with that, and now you got this little U and you got this rope. What you do, you take your serving thread and you pull it over this way, and now we're going to serve the same direction with that U, and we'll continue. And you have to use your fingers to keep it in place. You just serve back over like you've been doing, except now we're unwinding those extra servings that we threw in, and we're continuing with the serving. There's a point you get right up to where you've just got that exposed rope. You got to keep things careful and finesse this with a serving jig, or it'll all go bleh. You pull it on through, tighten it up the way you like, take your knife, snip those suckers off, take a cigarette lighter, boom, thump, and you're done. There you go.